The changing landscape of the housing market in Las Vegas requires a real estate professional that understands how to get your offer accepted, willing to go above and beyond for service and accountability. Hi, my name is Dan French. I've been in the real estate and financing industry for over 13 years. Most real estate agents struggle with answering their phone. Please call me directly, 702-557-6176. I'm available for all your real estate needs.
Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
What's going on, everybody? We're just getting in here. We're getting smooth. We got things happening here at the French Workbench podcast in studio. You guys know this is the most real behind-the-scenes information on financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs happening in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French, streaming live from Las Vegas. I want to talk today. We got a few guests here that you guys know. One of my guests here. He's a really good guy. He's a really good friend of mine, Mr. Joey Andron. What's going on, Joey?
Good afternoon, Daniel French.
Dude, you like that little mixer I got going on? Dude, you gotta
be. I like the beats, man.
You're used to be a DJ, bro. Start doing it, man. What's going on in your world, buddy? How are you?
That was a really poor version of a scratch, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. I'm like, dude, that was like, that must have been like something over in Florida or something when you were scratching. Is that like a big deal? Now it's, dude, like, you see a lot of things in Florida, right? So, like, is it a lot of hot things in Florida besides the weather?
Yeah, every hot story coming out of there is a Florida man. Starts with the Florida man.
So what's going on, man? You do a lot of touring. You do a lot of stuff. You do a lot of videos. You do a lot of Instagram. So Talk to me, man. What's going on with Instagram? You're blowing up on Instagram, right?
Yeah. No, everything's going great, man. My accounts are definitely growing. Pretty happy about that. Really starting to do a lot more video tours. We just did a fantastic video tour in Southern Highlands.
Nice.
It's Gavin Ernstone's listing, about $6 million, 9,400 square feet, absolutely stunning. So definitely check out my YouTube channel and subscribe. Yes. Make sure you hit that like button, helps with the algorithm.
Dude,
watch all my videos.
Everybody
comment.
right now needs to go to Joey's channel right now and subscribe. Everybody out there. Also, I want to bring up my friend, my good friend, my guest, the guy that put all his faith in me and my abilities to help him with his loan. And we succeeded. And I'm very happy to announce that Mr. Ver Starr,
what's going on, guys,
is back. Or not back.
I'm not in chat. I'm right
here.
I'm on the French workbench.
Dude, who would have thought? So look, man, you guys out there, if you guys become people that want to chat it up with us, we're going to bring you on the show, man. We're going to get you on here and talk a little bit about what you're about, and maybe give you some pointers as far as like, hey, man, let's promote him. Let's promote Ver and find out what Ver's all about. So Ver, dude, what's going on, man? So you just got into a house.
I just got into a house. So, Dan helped me out with the loan.
Yeah.
Joey helped me out with the deal. We made it happen. And it's been like over a year in the making. So now we're here. Me and my fiancée, we moved out here to Las Vegas.
Dude, what were you scared of? Like, were you like, man, I'm going from California to Vegas, and the weather's going to be hot. But I mean, was there any like real challenges, or you being afraid of being here in Las Vegas?
Everything you want is on the other side of fear.
I like that.
Everything, huh?
Nah. There was nothing I think we feared in this move. Me and my fiancée, her name's Jenelle, so I'll refer to her as that. And she's in chat, so everyone say hi.
Janelle, what's going on?
What's going on, Janelle?
Everyone
Janelle,
say hi to
hi,
my mom.
Janelle.
She'll be watching this later.
Joey, say hi to Janelle.
Hi, Janelle.
There you go.
But no, it was a lot of deliberating, and it's already the year 2022. We started thinking about it in the year 2020.
Yeah.
The end of it, or like the beginning of 2021. And
yeah.
I could talk about it, but basically because it's been over a year, we were thinking about it, like not even moving here. We were thinking about, maybe we try invest in Las Vegas, because that's where people are moving to and everyone needs a place to live. So we're into that too. So we could talk about that.
Investing.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is like, it's really, people want to move here and they want to, it seems like they're really willing to risk their money or risk maybe getting into an investment property. You're trying to get an investment property here. Is that right? Or are you trying to go outside? A lot of people want to go outside of Las Vegas too to buy an investment, say Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest. I hear a lot about that for better cash flow. But in terms of like the higher or the areas that are growing really quick, Vegas is in like that top list. So, that's how that happened. But we turned it into, hey, we got family out there, so we'll probably move out there too. And we were at a point in our life where it's like, hey, we're working from home. We live in a shoebox out in California because, you pay $500,000 there, you get barely anything. And we were like, hey, let's look at Vegas, and you could pay the same price or a little bit more for so much more.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Las Vegas, and a lot of people from California want to come to Las Vegas, but that separation on how much the difference, I mean, you still can save a lot of money on taxes, but the separation on the housing, you think that's going to get closer and closer as the years come? Because if you're over there and you're thinking about, should I move? Maybe you should move sooner than later because that, those homes are selling, but Vegas seems like it's just going crazy. Like you look at every time we do a market update, $5,000-$10,000 more on homes every single time. Like, we did the last 7 days, it's up $5,000 on homes, and everybody's like, well, the market's slowing down. Yeah, but the demand is not. Mm-hmm. The supply is low, but the demand is still there, and it's still at an all-time high, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We saw, I would say maybe a week or so, there was kind of a pause, maybe 2 weeks. I lose track of time, but I think people are just kind of readjusting to see what their affordability is with the new interest rates. But
100%.
Aside from that, I think people are still in the market to purchase a home. They're just trying to figure out the best course of action of what they can actually afford.
100%. And you got into a house and the rates weren't great. They obviously weren't not where they were at today, right? But they weren't that bad. But I mean, would you buy in a market like this if rates were still at 6%, or would that push you out of the market?
I mean, when you think about the rates being at 6%, we bought our first home. This is actually our third home.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So we bought our first home. I think our interest rate then was mid to low 4s. So when you think about interest rate at 5.6 right now, if you look maybe a year or two before 2019 when we bought our first house, it was probably around the same too. Mm-hmm. The only difference is house prices are more now, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, it depends.
It depends,
you
right?
have to run the numbers, and I'm a numbers guy. So it's if the numbers make sense and a deal makes sense, why not do it?
Yeah, and that's a very good point because everybody's financial situation is completely different from the other, right? Mm-hmm. So if it makes sense to you, and if you need a home, you're going to find a way to purchase that home for you or your family, right? It's just a matter of what best course of action is going to lead you down that path.
Ver, I got a question, man. So Mariners, right? So you're from California, but you got Seattle Mariners. You're repping the Mariners here. What if the A's come here? Are you going to switch jerseys, or are you going to keep the Mariners?
I'll probably keep the Mariners. So yeah, I come from California, but I was not born in Washington, but I basically grew up there. I moved there when I was 2 years old, K through 12, and then graduated. I actually moved from Washington to Texas. I went to school in Austin, and then me and my fiancée, then girlfriend, we moved from Austin to California, and then now we're here. But no, I rep the Mariners just because that's where I grew up.
Let me ask you something. So, how do you think of Las Vegas compares to those places you just mentioned?
Vegas compared?
Yeah.
The variety of food is crazy here. The food scene's crazy. It's funny because I'm kind of grown into this jersey. This used to be big on me.
Really?
So ever since we moved here, we were just eating a bunch of food, just venturing out.
What's your favorite food? Is it what's your favorite thing to eat here, or just in general?
Here so far, I mean, Chinese food's good. We go out to Spring Mountain, Chinatown. We had Chinese barbecue this last weekend. I'm Filipino, so I love Filipino food.
Yeah, man. Who doesn't, right?
So any type of food. Prime rib. You get that at the casinos. So,
yeah, the prime rib.
I like steak too.
Where's your favorite casino to do that? I used to do it on downtown where they get that discount. I don't know where anybody does it anymore. I'm looking at the deals. I'm like, is this $9.99? I'm not going. I'm cheap.
Yeah, midnight special, man.
I'm not doing it, man. Yeah. They might get me on a $15 steak, but if they get that, I mean, that's lucky because I'm not going any further than that. So, do you spend money when you go out? Do you spend, are you okay with spending $30, $50 on a plate? I'm
not okay with that. I'm pretty damn frugal, man.
Are you?
Yeah, but to answer your question, the only thing I don't like about Vegas is the heat, the dryness. We're in a desert. You're people aren't supposed to live in a desert. But in terms of like growing up in Washington, you have green forest. I grew up on an island, so, small town. The moisture's great. You could breathe out there. Austin, Texas, I had really bad allergies, but I went there for college. So, college is college. Had fun down there. But then after I graduated, got bored. So all my friends moved away, or I got bored because all my friends moved away.
Yeah.
And then we moved out to California back in 2016 because, I was like, I can move anywhere. My fiance had dreams of working in Hollywood, and she wanted to move to SoCal, and we were at an age where it's like, we got to do it now because we can't do it later. And we just did it. So she got that dream. She got to work for one of the big studios out there as an accountant. Yeah.
Okay.
Before she realized she wanted to do something else, and now we just work from home. And that's kind of where, with the pandemic, we were like, hey, we could get something bigger, and that's why we came out here. Plus, her sister's out here, and her brother-in-law.
Cool.
So we got family out here, and her parents as well.
Good deal. So aside from the heat and the dryness and everything else, Vegas is the spot?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you have family so close, things to do. You don't have a beach, but,
Well, you got
desert.
Lake Mead, but Lake Mead's going to have to give a few years before we can go out there again.
It's just going to be a beach. It's just
right?
dry beach.
Exactly.
I mean, you got Lake Las Vegas. You been out there?
I haven't yet, but I've seen pictures. Oh, you know what's funny? I have a Peloton, but also a hydro. They have some footage of like you rowing on Lake Las Vegas, so maybe I'll have to actually row out there.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah,
seen
dude.
it in a video.
Yeah. Actually, Lake Las Vegas is super cool. I take
It
my
is.
kids down there all the time, but you can rent paddle boards. You can do pontoon, like electric pontoon boats.
Yeah.
You can do the zip line on the wakeboard, Sunday cruise, like champagne cruise they do.
Dude,
so there's a lot of stuff to do out there. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, you're a good father, dude. I mean, I'm not going to say, but I always hear every time Joey talks, he always includes his kids and his family. So if your wife's watching, you're going to get a nice big kiss when you get home, buddy.
I hope so.
So what's going on, Ver? So let's talk, man. Challenges, right? Coming out to Vegas. Let's talk a little bit about, when you came out here, and was it everything you anticipated? Like, was it smaller than you thought, or was it just different? I mean, what are your thoughts when you moved out here? Because I know you probably came out here, but living here and visiting here is a completely different world.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I remember going to Vegas was as a kid. I think, me and my parents, we had a motorhome, came out here. I didn't really care about the heat because, I'm a little kid, but I wanted to go to Circus because they had a cool arcade or something, right? And
Yeah.
clowns and the acrobats. But then, like, more recently, we'd visit my fiance's sister, and they have a niece and nephew. So, you come out here. We actually, like, barely go to the Strip. We only come out here to visit family or eat. So, that was cool. But then when we actually, sat down and thought about like, hey, maybe we should move there so we're closer, we have that support system.
Right.
That kind of just, superseded everything about the doubts about it. I mean, I think you've said it before on your podcast, like it's a transit city. Like not a lot of people like move here to like live here. Like people are like living here and whatever. But we
You definitely pay attention because I did say that at one point. Yeah, I appreciate
you said
that.
it multiple times, but and I think that's a lot because I hear a lot of people like in our neighborhood or just around in Vegas like you don't stay here for too long. And I'm like, okay, so for us, we thought we were going to stay in SoCal for 5, 7, 10 years, but we only lived in our house for 3. So things can change. We could pivot. We could like not like it here after like a month, 2 months.
When did
3
that
months.
mindset shift though? Like, was it like, hey, you know what? It's hard living here because the taxes, the laws, I don't know. People sometimes move because of the congestion. Like, what made you guys really say, you know what? I understand it was COVID, maybe it was the perfect opportunity, but what, because you can move out and move into a bigger home. But what was your real, okay, this is my turning point, as far as moving to Vegas?
I think that was it, was the pandemic.
Was it?
Because of the pandemic, California had some of the strictest, policies and stuff. But I mean, for us, we stayed in. We worked from home. We work remote, and then we kind of just doubled down on that. Like in 2020, we picked up extra work, picked up extra hours, and we just tried to save and invest as much money as we could. And then we were just like, man, this is not a life to just do that. So, and plus we didn't live in such a great area because, like LA or SoCal, you have great areas by the beach. And then you have areas like, that are not so great. You have downtown, you have, all the bad areas like Skid Row and whatnot. And, the safety that was one of the factors was the safety. We lived in an area that was neighboring one of the not so great areas, and you know, every single night you'd either hear gunshots or you'd hear a news break like, oh, you know, someone
That crime,
yeah, crime was really bad over here, and it got to the point where it's like you don't go out after a certain time.
Really? It got that bad, huh?
Yeah, like we just didn't feel safe, right? And that's why we were just inside all the time.
But you know, Vegas is growing, and Vegas has a lot of people that are moving here now from California. And I'm not saying Vegas is unsafe, but we have seen crime tick up a little bit. I mean, let's just be honest. And I'm not saying it's anything compared to California. You got so much of a bigger population in California, but you've seen it. I've seen it. You know, it's always on the news. I mean, you think that's going to be a problem with crime?
Well, I mean, anytime population grows, crime's going to increase.
Right.
Right. It's just a numbers game. So it is what it is. You know, you can't get around it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, it's not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just, can we adjust? And, you know, people moving from California to here, I think it's a better place to live overall. I think they got more of their ducks in a row here in Las Vegas, but I don't know. I mean, I've never really, so your area was really just not a good area to live in. Why not move somewhere else in California and say, hey, you know what? Maybe if I go way out and I'm not nowhere near a city, then I'll be all right and I can still commute. Or you were just over California.
I think the key word that you just said was the commute. So before we worked from home, I actually worked out in Santa Monica for a tech company. And my commute, just to go like 10 miles each way, took sometimes like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's crazy,
one way.
man.
So, you know, I'm commuting 3 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Oh, that's insanity.
It's funny.
That's crazy. And then
Yeah,
the gas?
Gas, yeah.
Oh, man.
The funny thing is, though, like, I'm going to mention it here because my fiance's in chat. We were featured on a segment on CNBC about our home buying experience, and she said this phrase, which I kind of went with. She called it the commuter experience because, you know, I'd be commuting 5 days a week, and that's kind of where I named my YouTube channel, talking about my experience commuting to work and, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, the commuting was really bad before we worked from home. I took public transportation, took a bus, took a train. But you know, I'd go through not so great areas on the public transit. So
right.
That was really bad too. And one of the funniest things, I'm wearing the Seattle Mariners shirt. And if you know about LA, there's LA gangs. There's a bunch of different gangs out there. And one of the biggest gangs in LA is the Rolling 60s Crips.
I've heard of them.
And their baseball cap, you don't want to wear a baseball cap in LA.
Really?
Their baseball cap is the Seattle Mariners hat.
What if you're just wearing something with like a letter on it though, and it's not a baseball cap, and they're like, oh, what is that? And it's like, oh, that's just a letter. My name is Dan. I put D on there. I mean,
you don't want to be in a certain area. You don't want to be wearing a certain
These
color
are
or
dumb.
baseball.
you just done yourself in, buddy.
Yeah. So I did that for a little bit, and then there was this the receptionist at work. She was like, why are you wearing that hat? Why are you wearing that gangbanging hat? And I was like,
really?
What do you mean? And then she was like, yeah, you shouldn't be in certain areas of LA wearing that hat. And I was like, oh boy. And then, you know, I stopped wearing that hat.
Yeah, look, man, we get it. You know, you got to make adjustments, you know, and I think with here in Vegas, you got to make adjustments with weather. But for the most part, I think everybody moves to Las Vegas because they want to better their position in life. And I don't know. I mean, just me moving here, I had more of a sense of like, you know what, I can do whatever I want. I could start a business, and I really felt like I can actually do it here. Like in California, it's like you're going to start a business, but you got to commute, and a lot of times, you know, it's far distances, and then it's oversaturated. You're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is. I just didn't have the same confidence. But here, it's like the energy's different. Just like if you go to New York, the energy's different. Everybody here has a hustle. Everybody here wants to make money. Everybody here is out to better themselves and be different than where they came from. It's kind of the vibe I get.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you there. Like coming from Miami, it's the same thing, right? It's definitely a hustle, but a very saturated market. Everybody, like I think there's 1 out of 3 people are real estate agents out there. But moving here and starting my real estate business here, it seemed like more people were welcoming to like really help you out, right? It was easier to kind of get integrated into the the industry.
Right.
Right. There was always people there that are like very open to share information and like really look forward to you succeeding.
Right.
Right. So,
I mean, so
I love it here. I mean, my wife,
Yeah.
she talks about Texas all the time because we have family there, and I love my wife to death. But I keep telling her, I'm like, I'm not going to Texas. Like,
Well, it's
Las
like-
Vegas
yeah.
is where it's at. Like, I love it here. You know.
So what do you like mostly about Las Vegas? Like what makes Las Vegas so intriguing to you and wanting to sustain yourself of being here with your family? I don't know.
I think it's an easy way of life out here. You know,
Really?
Yeah. Like I mean, aside from the heat, you know, we're in the desert, and that's just comes with the territory, right? I mean, you have to accept that. Everything else, I think, is great. You know, the commute. I'm around this town. I live in Inspirada, which you know, and
Beautiful area.
All of my showings have been in Centennial Hills, Sky Canyon, and it's all the way on the other side of the valley. But I'm there in 30 minutes. You know, it's so easy to commute, especially for someone like myself who spends most of their time in the car, if not in the office, driving clients around. And it's just easy to navigate.
Yeah, I think it like this too is you're buying a house in California versus here, and you look at it and go, okay, what can I buy in California versus say Las Vegas, right? And so you're looking at the comparison, and you're like, well, I'm buying a 1985 home. You know, it might have, you know, upgrades and everything else, but it's still a 1985 home. Or I can move to Las Vegas and buy a 2020 home or 2022 home for the same, if not less cost, but it's even bigger sometimes in square footage or lot size. And you're sitting there going, well, the only thing I got to do is change the demographic, you know, where I'm at, like as far as the location. I mean, for me, it's like, okay, I can move to California. And you know what? If you have to go back to California, do you have any family in California?
I have, yeah. I have some in SoCal, NorCal, all over the place, but you know they're not like immediate family, but distant family to go visit every once in a while. But you know that's the cool thing though. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
Joey just mentioned Inspirada. We're literally like the first exit before you get into Vegas anyway. If we need a dip, go to California.
3 hours.
Boom, we right there, right?
And so that's why it's so easy for people to come from California. But you know, I don't know. I just feel that there's a lot more people starting to come, not just from California, but other places I'm starting to see.
True.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to say, but there was about 40% of people coming from California. But now, where do you see the most people coming from, Joey? I mean, if you talk, or you would have to say the next state or the next location, where are they coming
Washington.
from? Washington.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? And you're from Washington or no?
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
You grew up, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Well, you know what? It's interesting. When I moved out here, I found out like a couple of my acquaintances, then friends, or you know, people that I knew from my hometown actually moved and bought homes here.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I could reconnect with them and say, what's up? You know, small town kids coming to a big city like Vegas. So,
You know, aside from Washington, you know, we still see people from like Chicago or from Upper East, but we have obviously a lot of people from Hawaii as well.
Yes.
So they call us the Ninth Island.
Hawaiians, man. Hawaiians.
I need to find a good Hawaiian food place though.
Hawaiian barbecue, man. They're all over the place.
I need to
Is
find
that
a good one.
that a good place though? I mean, is Hawaiian like is that comparison to like
It's
what they
really
really
good.
get in Hawaii?
I mean, I've never been to Hawaii,
'Cause,
but I
I
can tell
mean-
you it's really good.
Never been to Hawaii.
I've never been. I know.
He's already in Hawaii.
You've
He's
been to
on the Ninth
Hawaii.
Island.
You've been to Hawaii, all right?
I've been on. Yeah.
What islands have you been to in Hawaii?
Oh, just the main one. Just
The
what was it?
Oahu?
Yeah.
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 Do you feel like it's the same as Vegas, or do you feel like it's different?
That's
Like,
different, man.
is it?
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that tell me like it's very similar. Not obviously it's not open.
I guess it depends where you stay.
Yeah.
If you're down in Waikiki, where all the the resorts and the hotels are,
Yeah.
you compare that to the Strip, and you just imagine the Strip surrounded by water. Maybe.
Well, I think too, like you got a lot of Hawaiians moving here, obviously, because the cost is better. But I don't know. It's like a lot of people come here, and do you feel like they like it better here in Vegas from Hawaii, or is it like they feel like, hey, you know what, I need to go back because, you know, it's hometown. So
Vegas is
it's
kind of
different.
like their Disneyland. Like if you're
Exactly.
in SoCal in San Diego, you go to Disneyland in Anaheim.
Right.
Hawaiians come to Vegas, direct flights.
Are you a gambler? No. You're not a gambler, man.
I'm not a
I
gambler.
would say this, and I'm not trying to, but I would feel that you might dip into like one of these casinos every once in a while, throw 100 down. Your wife doesn't know about it. You know what I mean? You're just over there drinking. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, where were you at? Oh, I went to the store and I had to do a few things. But, you know, really, you're like, hey, man, I had to see South Point for a second, right?
That's not me. I don't like to gamble. I mean, I've watched movies like 21. You know, I'd love to get into blackjack and figure out how to do all that thing, right? My father-in-law, or my future father-in-law, he's a pit boss. So like I've talked to him like, oh, you know, have you caught someone counting cards or something? And like he's told me some stories that make me like, oh, okay, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like weird because you go out and it's like a different world. Like I used to work that life.
Oh yeah.
I did. I went to college out here and I was working that life, and it's like you don't know the day. It's just like you wake up and you go and you're like out, and you were a DJ, so I'm sure you know this stuff, but I mean, you know, you start seeing and you're single and you start seeing girls and you're out and you're doing things. I mean, all of a sudden it turns into 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and you're like, dude, did I stay out this whole night?
And it's
you know
Wednesday.
I mean? Yeah,
and
it's
like,
Wednesday.
Wait a second, I left my house on Friday.
Right. And you know where I always headed to? Steak and eggs. I went right over to the Orleans. It was like $3.99 or something. I don't know what it is now, but dude, I would be there. Give me 2 orders of steak and eggs, egg whites with some wheat toast. Knock that out, dude. It was just amazing.
And a protein shake.
That sounds pretty good around that time.
So where do you go, man? Where do you go out to eat out here? Have you been at any of these? I know you said Chinese food, but where's like you haven't really went out to anywhere as far as experimenting? Hey, let's go out and just go out to dinner somewhere for first time being here.
Not yet. I think there was like a fancy Thai place we went to somewhere out in Spring Mountain. I talked about prime rib. We go to the penny place, or I don't know what it's called, at Green Valley.
Oh yeah. The penny slots?
No, it's like a penny cafe or something where they
really?
serve prime rib.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so we did that.
I see. Was it good? I mean, was it kind of?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you like it bloody?
I like it medium rare. Yeah, I like it medium rare. Every month.
You're a savage.
Give me the prime rib, extra bloody.
Extra bloody.
Yeah. Make it moo.
Right, make it moo. You ever been to the library?
I haven't.
Okay.
I've heard about it.
Joey and I were going to go take you to the library after this. So it's a very nice, relaxing place to go and just get your mind free and clear.
It's a great place to go meditate.
Oh, I think I see it in chat. It was called the Lucky Penny.
Oh, the Lucky Penny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jenelle.
And we've been to China. Oh yeah, she has my back. China Mama. That was a good Chinese place.
China Mama?
China Mama. Dumplings.
They have this place out here.
tofu.
Chakits has a person that comes in because Mama Bird.
Mama Bird.
Yeah, and it's like Southern food.
Yeah.
And it's
We
right
went
down
there too.
You went there.
Yeah.
In Southern Highlands.
Yeah, man. You know, I haven't heard nothing but good things. I even got a coupon to go, and I just didn't go. And I was just like, man, I should have went.
The coupon wasn't high enough?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I needed 50, and I got 25. And I was like, dude, do I got to really come out of pocket and a tip?
Oh man.
He's not kidding.
He's for real.
Look at my face. I'm not kidding.
I'll take the coupon.
No, but she was actually really nice, and you know, she's got a very positive energy. That woman when she came.
I think
on,
I
you know.
remember that. That's
Yeah, she was really
yeah.
cool, man. But I want to. Yeah. I want to go visit that place just because all I hear is about. So my girl ate there. She works at a dental office, and they had the food delivered there, and she said like I think it was like their cornbread or something was just off the, what do they call it, the chain or the hinges? Can I say one of those?
You can say either one.
Okay, yeah. Off the hinges.
You're so white.
I know. So what do you didn't eat there or what? Are you
No,
haven't
we
tried-
did.
Oh, you did. Okay,
we had brunch there. I think I forgot what we had because we've had so many things, but I think there was like a breakfast scramble with like bacon or like brisket.
Yeah.
So, they have some insane stuff. And coming from Texas, like when you have barbecue out there, you got to find something with some brisket in it.
So what is your goals, man? Like what do you I know you have a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
And you're constantly on there, and I saw you put out a video the other day. So what are your goals with that YouTube channel? And kind of pitch that, man. Throw it out there real quick. So what do you do?
I mean, since you mentioned YouTube, first, I see 13 people in the chat, but only one like.
Hey,
on the video.
whoa. There should be one extra 3 in there. 133. There's 13?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you sure in your right chat?
I think I need to refresh the page, but if you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe to the channel. I have a YouTube channel. It was kind of a fun project, so I did it as a hobby. We had that feature on CNBC Make It, which if you haven't seen that, it's like at 3/4 the way to 1 million views. But basically, it was about buying a home. So then I started a YouTube channel about how we bought a home, like I would make coffee at home. Like I stopped paying for Starbucks, started making my own cold brew, and I was like, hey, this is how I bought a house, because I take the difference that I would spend at Starbucks and instead vest it or save and invest it, and then boom, we have money for a house. But
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like $10 a coffee right now at Starbucks, right? Because of the inflation.
Insanity.
Yeah, dude. And you know what? They still line the cars up. No matter, dude, it could be $20.
Yeah.
And they'll still line up those cars, man. And be like, well, I can do away with that nail appointment, and my hair can wait till next Thursday. And it's like, okay, well, at least I get my fix, But you see a lot of people do that. So that's crazy. So you basically save $10, whatever it was, and just put it, into the bank, or just...
That's the joke.
Oh.
No, we, I've been saving money, working.
Man, I was going to put that out there and be like, dude, we're making a video.
I mean, if you really
about
want to
how to really get into a house.
From my
and if you-
one-bedroom apartment, I save $2 every day.
I mean, think about it, right? So if you're going to Starbucks 2 to 3 times a day, and you spend $5 to $10 on a drink, but then instead you make money, or you make your coffee at home for like 20 cents, 20-cent coffee, right? You save and invest the difference over 30 years. If you invested into like an index fund like the S&P 500 that averages...
Wait. What is that big lingo you're talking? What is that? S&P 500?
Like the top 500 U.S.
Standard
stocks.
& Poor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was like, wait a second. I mean, that didn't register.
I
so.
apologize. I would think the audience, though, because they watch this channel, they'd be financially versed. But basically, if you invest...
The host is not.
Wait a second. I am in financing, too.
If you save and invest that money in something like that index fund, right, that averages a rate of 7% adjusted for inflation with dividends reinvested, over that amount of time, you'll make back the money of the cost of the house. So it's like, because I don't buy coffee and make my coffee at home, I already bought the house 30 years later, right? So
Yeah.
that's
No,
kind of
that's a great example,
It
because
is.
most people, and myself included, we spend on unnecessary things every day, right? Like I could potentially make my lunch at home, but I choose not to because I'm lazy and I go outside.
Yeah, but we're all guilty,
And I
dude.
spend between $12 and $25, every day or every other day on lunch.
Yeah, but
Think
you know what?
about how many houses I could buy. Right?
in the future.
Dude, he would be all over it, dude. I want to say this, though, and you make a good point. Now, I used to work as a server, like way back, 20 years ago.
7 months ago.
Yeah, like 6-7 months ago. And I just came to my full circle here of being a lender / wannabe realtor here. Anyway, so my person that I work with, she was a manager over at, what was the restaurant? It was TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays. I was like, how do you do it, man? She drove like the nicest car, and she always had she's like, well, we cut corners. And I was like, what does that mean? She's like, well, when we go out to eat, nobody orders a soda. And she goes, when we do certain things that others do, we pay attention to that, and we just kind of, cross that off. And she said that money that you save, we did the calculation of not doing that for a year. And she's like, you'd be astounded at how much money you save just not doing that. Just like the Starbucks thing.
Yeah.
The Starbucks thing is one thing. Avocado toast is another thing. I'm a millennial, so that's all we do is avocado toast and coffee. If you're someone who goes out to the club all the time, you have the tab that runs up, 100, 200, 300 bucks.
Oh, you go to the club. Okay.
I don't go to the club.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, because your audience is in Vegas, or there's
You
people
going to
from
the
Vegas.
Aria? Janelle?
Nah. If I go, she's coming. But anyways, here's a cool tip. If you want to save money on going out, just buy a handle at Liquor World or somewhere that sells a handle. Drink the handle at home, take an Uber to the club, and then just ask for water at the bar.
I'd
and
be
just
sleeping if
vibe.
I drank a handle.
Just vibe, and then you save money that way.
I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to give a shout out to Ver. So Ver, I want to say Ver. That sounds more manly, right? So I'm going to say Ver, right? So Ver has always been a person on the show, and I'm going to say I have a lot of respect for Ver. He's a guy that makes his decisions right away, and he's like, Vegas it is, and he didn't hesitate. And Ver, you have a beautiful home. And where's that location at right now?
It's also an Inspirada.
Oh, wow. So who sold you the home?
Joey did.
Oh, wow. Are you guys neighbors?
As a matter of fact, we are.
Basically, yeah.
So you guys have people that, does Janelle know his wife? What is that yet? Or have you guys
No, we haven't even done that whole meet and greet.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
You
but
have
we're looking for some personal training maybe. So
Yeah.
Or he also rides cycling. You know, I used to do that in college. So we have some things to connect.
Oh, really?
So he actually, the fun fact, Zwift is a, well, I'll let you tell.
What Zwift is?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I work for a company called Zwift. It's a fitness gaming company. So it's basically a video game where you have an avatar where you could cycle in the world of Watopia. So I work for that company, you know, working on the back end, you know, making that game what it is.
So you're a
you know.
programmer.
Yes. I'm a software engineer programmer, yeah.
Dude, you're probably analyzing me like every time you come on, like, dude, he's doing this all wrong. He's like, right?
If I could chalk it down all to just numbers,
Yeah.
sure, I'm looking at the numbers.
I didn't know you were like that, man. I didn't know you were a programmer. So, you know, the gaming is a big industry. You know, people love gaming. Dude, it's like, I used to play this Supercross game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they got one version. It's like the first one to the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
And I really can't tell what's different between the first and the fifth. But they market the hell out of it, and I'll still buy it.
It's like
I'll play it
Madden.
2 times, and I'll be like, all right, well, it's the same thing. But you know what? I got the latest.
It's like those sports games, you know, Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K
Yeah, it's the
Live.
same, right?
It's the same thing every year. They just add like a cool feature where you could hit this stick and then you'll blow this guy, you know, to an injury or something.
Do you game? Or
I
you
game.
do you game? Okay. How many hours do you think you game? Like, I'm not going to try to throw it out there, like put you on the spot. And I don't know if Jenelle cares, but how many hours do you really game?
Not as much anymore. You know, I'm busy with work, or you know, I'm just too tired at the end of the day, or I try to take a break at lunchtime to just play a quick game, drop hot. But
What's your favorite game then?
you know, first person shooter games,
Call of Duty, right?
Call of Duty,
Yeah.
PUBG, Valorant's a big one.
Do you feel these games make you like, compared to what it used to be, like you're really in it? Like I don't know, like I played one of these games one time and it was like, man, it's just too, like I'm too into it, like I'm too emotional into it. Do you get like that?
It depends on the type of game. I play Halo, you know, and like I kill someone, I teabag them, whatnot, or I
You
get into
teabag them. What does
Yeah.
that mean?
You just, you know, walk up to their dead body and just crouch up and down.
Dude, what do these games turn into, man? I got to join this so I can start teabagging, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So,
There's that kind of game, or if it's like a cool RPG game, like a role-playing game that has a nice story, you know, I get into it. There was this one, like Star Wars is pretty big right now. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming out at the end of this week. Oh, wow.
wow, look at you. Yeah, that's all right. You're trying to. Wow, look at that.
We get some.
Ver,
Is
you
that
got
mine?
somebody calling you, Ver?
No, I think we're getting audio from...
I think it's from that because
That was
you're
mine.
listening. Oh, it's yours.
Joey's
Yeah.
phone? Oh, okay.
Joey's listening too. So see, man, we're all trying to pump this show up. We're all like, are you guys making the comments
I'm
on
on
this
the
thing?
chat.
You guys,
I know.
So,
Yeah.
I made 6 comments. So
you made
far.
6 comments. There you go.
Yeah, but anyways, what was I talking about? Star Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's coming out, and then there was this really cool video game, Star Wars, that got me really emotional just because the story was so great. So, you know, you have video games that can tell stories, and you know, Legend of Zelda, but the Star Wars
Dude,
game was
Zelda?
so
Legend of Zelda
Wow.
was, dude, my uncle was hooked on Legend. Dude,
Yeah.
he was playing the old version of Legend of Zelda, right? It took him like a month to beat. He literally shut everybody out, right? Played it for a month, couldn't figure it out, beat it. He popped champagne, right? He had a party, dude. Like he was like, I beat it. Everybody come over, and he popped like champagne. I was like, dude, is this guy really popping champagne because he beat a game? Like that's how people get into it, though.
Yeah.
You know, gaming is just, dude, it's like it brings you in and your emotions get involved, and then you're like, dude, I got to do this, you know?
Yeah, it's a huge time sink, like especially if you just get really into it. But the crazy thing is about games these days is like e-gaming, right? Like there's an arena out here that is about that. There's
Yeah.
kids, 13-year-olds making $500,000 like winning Fortnite games. So it's like,
insane.
like you can
God.
make a lot of money just playing games, which is like, I wish I could do that, but you know, I have other.
Yeah,
things to do.
well, listen, I mean, my thing is that you can't, you know, put it down because they're still making a lot of money. But just think about it. If you made money at that age, that could set you up for the rest of your life if you did something right with it.
Yeah.
If you invested it right. So just the opportunity for stuff like that is just amazing to me. So that's cool, man. So what else? Anything else? Like what, let me say this, and we'll say this and end it and go to Joey. What do you like most about Las Vegas since you've been here?
So far, it's just the change of pace, I think, for me. Out in SoCal, like I told Jenelle this, it's like there's this weird just stress out there.
Yeah.
That's like implicit. Like it's very just lingering, right? I don't know if you're into like horror movies, but like
I love horror movies.
Like there's this movie Annabelle Comes Home or something, and
Yeah.
like, the whole movie you're just stressed the f out,
Yeah.
and then as soon as the door closes, there's just this like relax,
Yeah.
right, and that's kind of like what it felt out in SoCal because of those inherent just stresses,
Right.
And then once we moved out here, I just like the fact that I don't feel that anymore. You know, I could drive down the street, I could take a walk.
So you feel safer being here.
Yeah, safe.
You know, and you don't have to feel like you're like, worried about your family or worried about being home or, crime. I mean, look, crime is a big deal. And I think that makes, between crime and schooling, you could have the dream home you want. But if you have those two things and that's a problem, that dream home's gone. And that's what usually you see with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the thing. That goes back to what I was saying before. Easy way of life out here.
Yeah.
Because you have the safety, the security. We have the schools. I don't know. I can't say enough about Las Vegas. I literally thought I was going to come out here for like 30 days, try it out, and go right back to Miami. All my friends told me the same thing. They're like, you'll be back. That was back in 2013. I've been back to Miami, I want to say maybe 4 times.
Yeah, but I think if you were single, you would have probably went back.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Because I'm going to tell you, man, there's a lifestyle out there that when you're single, it's a different world, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends.
It all depends.
It depends. But if
It
you're
all
looking for a
depends.
family-oriented, crime, limited crime, I guess, or less crime, or a place where you can really, open up and just not really worry about things and live comfortably, you're saying Vegas is it, right?
Yeah, I think it is for now. I think the biggest thing though, and she's in chat, it's like we were in this together, right? Like if it was just me, maybe I wouldn't have come to Vegas, but because we're in things together 100% each, Vegas was the play, and that's where we were at.
What do you dislike about Vegas being here so long, or not so long, but so far?
So far, I mean, it hasn't reached like 100 plus degrees for us yet, but I think it's just the heat.
Is it that? But we've had 80s, right?
Right, beautiful
It's beautiful.
weather.
weather,
It's
but-
been nice lately,
Yeah.
but I think like that's what I'm saying. I don't hate it yet.
Okay.
Wait
If I
until
will.
August.
So you're
Right.
looking for reasons to hate it, but you haven't found a reason yet. Is what
I'm
you're
not
saying?
looking for reasons.
Not looking for reasons.
I'm
So,
not looking for reasons.
but like if you said, okay, Vegas traffic, was it worse than you thought?
No,
No.
it's actually really nice.
Really?
You told me get here 5:15. I got here at like 5:15. I was like, that wasn't too bad.
Okay.
And I didn't have to worry about like, oh, there was a jam right here, or this light went out, or someone hit a hydrant or something. I was just like, all right, popped it into Google Maps, and I was here on time.
What about drivers? Like I know that there's a lot of drivers here that don't really drive together. You got everybody from all different states trying to
that's true.
play musical chairs on trying to figure out how everybody drives. What about the driving? Do you think the driving here is a little bit harsh harder?
I don't think I've gotten to it yet, but I think it's easier.
Really?
But also, I drove for a few years out in California, so you have some of the craziest drivers out there, and they kind of primed me. And, you become more aggressive. I'm more like chilled out though, but at the same time, I'm like very aware. It's funny when I learned driving. At age 16, I had an uncle or my mom's cousin who would like on purpose like distract me while I was driving to kind of like prime me to be a good driver or build my awareness. And it's like whenever I'm driving down the street, like I can look ahead, but I can see every mirror. Like my awareness is just at a 10.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a safe driver then, you're saying? You're basically because a lot of people aren't. They don't really pay attention. They're just, I got to get somewhere. You're a little bit more methodical. You pay attention to the sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Drive
I grew
with a
up on
blinker.
I grew up on like a manual car, like, manual windows, no sensor, no backup camera. So it's kind of like I had to kind of just do that. Like a lot of cars these days, you have all the bells and whistles. So
Yes.
it's like you can have autopilot. I don't have that. So
Yeah, I
You
mean,
should have seen my first car.
yeah. What did you have to do? Did you have to was it like starting it like a lawnmower? You're like, pulling it.
Pretty much. It was a 2-door convertible doo-doo brown LeBaron. I swear to God, it was doo-doo brown with a white convertible top.
So when you went and saw a girl, like, were you ashamed of it, or were you like,
No way,
what,
man,
dude?
was
I got a
16.
car.
I dropped the top, pull up. I mean, that thing was legit.
It was
pull it
legit.
up.
What was your first car?
I still have my first car,
Do you really? What is that?
a 2002 Chevy S10.
And what did you? I mean, you just kept it in the garage. I mean, is it running or?
It's running. Yeah. So the crazy thing is it's a pretty old car. That was my first car even before I had my license. Grew up through high school with it.
Yeah.
Left my freshman year without it, but then went back up a summer to drive it down to Texas. Had it in Texas, and then had it out in California, but then I took public transit, so it was just stored, and then I came out here. I've done a lot of stuff on it. Like I've replaced a fuel pump, oil pump, swapped the starter, alternator, radiator, all that kind of stuff just to upkeep it. It's like not even worth it, but you know, there's sentimental value.
Dude, there is, man. Look at there's people I know. They don't have an engine in the car, but they'll have the frame, and they'll put it in the car. And be like, someday I'm going to put an engine back in that thing because that was my first car.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? It's a sentimental thing. It really is. Like me, I got a truck, and I'm just like, dude, I brought it off the showroom floor to 2008. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to sell it this year. And my girl's like, you got to sell that thing. You got to get it. Like, yeah, I'm going to get it. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Can't do it. So, Ver Starr, guys, ladies and gentlemen, folks. Ver Starr, he's finally here. Ver, I want to say thank you for coming on. You got any final words? Anybody that can get a hold of you on your YouTube or Instagram channel?
Yeah, just find me on YouTube. Ver Starr is the channel. Find me on Instagram, Ver Starr. I'm on Twitter. I don't really do there, but you know, you can find me, or you'll put my links down in the description below, right?
100.
So check that out. And again, if I haven't already said it, like and subscribe to Dan French Workbench.
Absolutely. Here we go. Joey,
What's up?
what's going on, buddy? What's happening? Let's talk about what's happening in the world of real estate.
The world of real estate here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow, you sound like a DJ host.
Did you like that?
Yeah, dude.
I was working in a strip club for a short period of time.
Dude, I mean,
okay, next in the main stage we got Dita.
dude, I'm gonna say something that sounded just like it, and I've been to quite a few. That was a little too good there, Joey. Hopefully your wife's not watching this one, man. So let's look and see what's going on here, dude.
Here we go. All right, so we were just having this conversation about the real estate market. You know, what is it doing? What has it done since rates increased? Right.
Yep.
So we have definitely seen a slight pullback. Right. I think people are adjusting to the new rates on affordability.
Yes.
Home builders are also trying to figure out what's going on because a lot of people that have been waiting, 5-6 months for their home to be built can now not qualify. So they have some standing inventory that they're trying to sell, right? So some home builders are offering incentives, whether it's an extended rate lock, they're either coming down off of the base price or lot premium.
Okay.
Right. So we're seeing that with some home builders, not all, but some are offering those incentives. But, I always, a broad stroke across the market, right? We, average 400, 500,000 between our median home price. That's a really tough price point, right? A lot of people, are scratching by to afford these homes because they're trying to keep up with the increase in these home prices, right?
Right.
So I like to look at the luxury market, right? Because that's going to be
That's on fire right now, isn't it?
It is, because that's like a true tell. Right, so you look at the luxury market. The luxury market is usually the first sign to where if it's coming down, we're gonna see like a tremendous pullback in the market. Okay,
right, exactly. Yes.
So if I'm explaining that right to you guys, hopefully you understand. So I pulled this up. So between $1.5 million and $4 million, okay, sold in the past 20 days. We have 19 sales in the past 20 days, all closed in cash.
All closed in cash. So what does that say about the
here.
market? I mean, it's on fire, but you still have people investing cash. You got people coming in. You looked at the average market, right? Was $3.5 million. Now you're seeing that is it higher than that now? I mean, what is that average luxury market price right now?
So we're looking. 1.5 is probably like the baseline.
1.5.
Yeah. So most homes, we don't have a tremendous amount of homes over 4 million. We have homes over 4 million, but this is a good barometer, right? So between 1.5 and 4 million. So I'm just going to reset this because we were having difficulty with this, right? So just type in 1.5.
1.5.
No.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, we have a technical difficulty here. Joey needs to take over here. Go ahead, Joey.
Where to go here? Where is the mouse here? So 1.5 to 4 million sold.
So let's take a look at that.
Sold here in the last 20 days. Okay. So 39 homes sold in the last 20 days between 1.5 and 4 million. So then we scroll down here and I want to see the terms of the sale.
So when you say the terms, what are you looking for?
Looking for conventional, cash.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to do, obviously, FHA at that price
Right.
point.
Right. Right.
You're not going to do VA in most cases. So we're going to go down here, click on cash, and then we'll scroll back up here, and that's where you'll see 19 of those homes out of the 39 close all cash.
Wow.
So what this tells me is that most buyers in this price range, people who are looking in the $1 million price range, don't care what interest rates do. They see the value in the Las Vegas market and they're investing.
Well, a lot of people, man, they say, as giving financing and saying rates, like you shouldn't. It's like you always dictate what the market's going to do based upon what people do, right? Confidence, and people's confidence are still there. The supply, it always comes down to supply and demand. The supply is low, the demand is high, but yet people are still willing to pay a premium for the most part with these higher rates. And it just tells you that, is the market going to stay hot? And you're telling me from what I'm getting from your conversation with me is that it is, right?
Yeah. So now let's look at between 400 and 600,000. So in the last 20 days, we had 1,121 sales
Yeah.
in the last 20 days. Now let's go down here to cash.
Yeah.
Sold terms cash. Yep. From 1121,
Yep.
408.
Yeah.
So it's still a significant number. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just below half. Half of those homes between 400,000 and 600,000 in the last 20 days closed in cash.
Right.
So the confidence is still there in this market. People are just navigating around the interest rate. Some people might make sense. They say, hey, look, it doesn't make sense for me to borrow the money. I'm getting like creamed in the market right now. Makes more sense to cash out, maybe borrow against my 401k, close on this property cash.
Well, I mean, you look at the challenges that people face, though, today, and you look at higher rates, you got higher prices of homes, you have inflation, and then you don't have homes on the market, and it's just a perfect recipe. But you're saying that people still find a way to buy a house. They don't have those concerns, because I would if I was buying a house. I'm just curious. Like, do they ever express these concerns to you? Because for me, I'm out buying a home, and I'm like, dude, 6%? Do I really want to do that?
Yeah.
Right? Do I want to buy a house that was just 3 years ago, $350,000, and it's $550?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's my payment?
Sure.
And look, maybe that market's different. You got 1.5, that 1.5 to 3.5. You're saying, okay, they're still going to go in, but maybe they have the capital and the assets to do that. They're not really worried about that. But if you're looking at and you compare it to the middle class, I know you're talking about the luxury market. They're the ones that's the meat and potatoes of what we're doing, right? They're the middle part. They're probably the most that we deal with. I know we have some high-end buyers, but those are the ones that probably have the most stress and have the most reluctance of saying, hey, maybe this isn't the market. And furthermore, they might look at it and go, if we just wait, we're going to buy in the dip because maybe the market's going to come down. There's no way it's going to keep going up, but yet all the data says it's going up based upon what you're saying.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, we look back here between 400,000 and 600,000, 408 of those properties in the last 20 days closed all cash out of 1121. 1,121 properties, 408 closed in cash. That's huge.
So
Huge
that tells but that's cash, right? So there's a lot of people that come out here and use cash for investment properties, right? Would you say, right? Flipping, things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I mean, to look at that data, I mean, let's look at it this way. Let's pull up one of the hottest zip codes.
Okay.
All right, let's see. 89044.
Is that your zip code?
Yeah, it's Henderson. It is.
It's a hot zip code.
It's a hot zip code.
Ver, is that a hot zip code, Ver?
It's a hot one.
That's
Is that like
look,
90210?
90210.
Let's look in Clark County then. Okay, for instance, let's look in this zip code here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Central Valley. Let's go 89146. 89146. Last year, the median sales price was $483,000. In April, $712,000.
Wow. What's the change on that year over year?
47.3%.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And the percent of list price received, 100.1%.
That is crazy, man.
The supply went down almost 46%. So you have 1.3 months of inventory.
Go to yours. I want to see what yours is, because I know that when you talk about Inspirada, that is a hot market up there, and it's still thriving. And look, everybody wants to know where these hot spots are. It's always like, where's the best places to live? I would say Inspirada's on that list. You got you have Summerlin, Inspirada. I think there was, I think it's Sky Canyon, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of places out here that you get that top 5. There's going to be a position where you're going to make a lot of equity. You built a lot of equity in your home right away, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, we got in
crazy.
At the nick of time. I'm telling you, nick of time. So we're definitely very fortunate on that. So I take zero responsibility. That was all my wife doing. She's the one who pressured me to buy a house. And thank you, Karina. I love you so much.
See, man, like you got to look at. Sometimes you got to bring reality. Do you have equity in your house?
Oh yeah.
How much equity do you have?
I mean, based on a comp that me and Joey talked about a couple weeks ago, I think we're at like 200K over.
What?
Like 200K equity.
Yeah.
200K?
Yeah, dude.
It's what it is.
We got homes in different area codes.
So if you look at the 89044, which is actually a broad stroke too, it's a very, very large zip code. You know, covers the whole Anthem area as well. But here, look, it's up 16%. Average sales price is up 22.5%, and we upticked in inventory 28%. Okay, but
that's crazy though, man. 28%.
Number of homes available in that zip code. I mean, it's a huge zip code. Only 70 homes were available in the month of April, right? So I mean, let's go back to this. Look how big this zip code is.
Yeah, that's a big. That's that's like the size of Texas if you look.
So only 70 homes, right? So a lot of people ask me, what do I think is going to happen with this real estate market? I still think that we're going to go through double-digit growth going into next year, hands down. It doesn't matter what the interest rates.
Double digits?
Yes, we're already there.
Well, let me say this. I would agree with you maybe in Las Vegas. I think as a nation, we may only grow 5%. I don't think it's going to go because look, I think this is a year and a half.
I'm not talking about national. We're talking about our market.
But you think it's going to be 23%? Like when you say double digits, that could be anywhere from 10 to whatever. I feel like maybe 10%, maybe 10%.
No, we'll be north of 15%.
Really?
Yes.
You think so? What about you, Vera? I mean, you got an opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're a finance guy, you're a real estate agent. You depend on those numbers, right?
Absolutely.
Me as a homeowner and potential investor or already investor, like, yeah, the numbers are going to keep going. Or at least like you're saying into next year, 6-12 months, I think it'll sustain for double digits. Maybe after that, the cycle will cool down. I don't see it cooling down like in the immediate or in the short term.
Yeah, no one's pulling the e-brake on this thing. Like there are so many investors, number one. So even if the primary user can't purchase a home, there's still an investor that's going to pay top dollar for the home. I have a deal right now that we needed to sell a house quickly. It's a close friend of mine, and because he wanted to go after another home, it was a resale.
Right.
And he's like, I do not want this one to get away from me. So I said, look, let's go ahead and call OfferPad. Right?
Oh, so you did a quick sale.
Something I never do. They cooperate with the real estate agents, so I coordinated the whole deal with the inspection and everything else. So I made sure that they were protected.
Yeah.
But they paid top dollar for the home. So
well, isn't there a misconception though? Like you have OfferPad and he's instant buying. Everybody thinks it's iBuying, which is internet. It's instant buying. But you go out there and they instantly buy your house. But they were saying, well, you know, they come in a little bit soft on the offer, right? They got to make their money, right? They're a flip company.
Yeah.
So why did they give him top dollar?
So what they do, and so you have different companies. You have, OfferPad, you have Open Door. Open Door was actually a very low offer. They typically will take the home as is. OfferPad will go ahead and offer you the big number, the big shiny bright number. Then they do the inspections and they try to hit you hard. Right?
I see.
Right. They inflate all of the numbers and they wait until like the 11th hour of the due diligence period to go over that inspection report with you.
Nice. Okay.
Right? So you have to navigate those waters, right? That's why it's always the smart move to have representation, even if you're going to use OfferPad. But they are paying top dollar because there's no inventory. And then you have the flippers that are here. They're still paying top dollar because they forecast the market of where it's going with the low inventory. They're going to make the money back.
Yeah, but there's a lot of companies that lost money. So, I mean, it's just interesting because a lot of these, you got Zillow, right? That Open Door lost money last year. Zillow shut their doors. So I can't see that there's going to be still a huge profit for these companies doing this. And especially with yes, we're desired here in Las Vegas, but we have no inventory. And so you got to go and say, okay, well, I got to pay a premium. Imagine if you had more homes in the market. Maybe that market for them would be great. but I just don't see that market happening for them as far as
it's
the numbers they're wanting.
It's a matter of controlling it, right? So they do micro flipping. So if you're into micro flip, you have to do it on high volume.
Yeah.
You can't just do 1 or 2, 3, 4 homes.
Right.
You have to do hundreds of homes to obviously make your return.
Right.
But they have hedge fund money. It's long-term money. I don't know what happened with Zillow. They might have overextended themselves.
They put out a Zestimate and it didn't come back right.
That is a very good point. If you look at the Zestimate of your home or another home you're trying to purchase, just
We need Elon Musk to buy Zillow so he'll make them right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But, I don't know. Low inventory, high demand, simple economics. The market's still going to increase. I've been preaching double-digit growth. I've been preaching the same thing since prior to COVID. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I can tell you I haven't been wrong.
No, I'm going to say this. You got – see, the big thing is experience is the best teacher, right? So you're out there in the trenches. You're out there making offers. Even if it doesn't work, you go and you kind of like test in different things. You have enough volume of business to say, well, I have all these different things that I'm learning and all these different tactics because I'm submitting multiple offers for different people. And then you kind of get an idea of what all aspects of that market is doing. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for an investor, you're looking for somebody that's just out there buying their first home, whatever it is. And I think that's where your education and your experience comes in. And it's not always about like how long you've been in real estate. It's about what have you gone through in real estate? What is your experience level? Some people come into real estate and didn't do anything in a year, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they come in and they don't have any deals, or they've been in it for 5 years and they close like 3 transactions. That's not really a lot of experience. And I think with you are already good in as far as being a real estate agent. You're good at sales, but I think your experience level comes through because of how much volume you do, right? So
absolutely.
You do a lot of volume. So what else? Anything else on the real estate market?
No. Actually, it is very surprising. Not very surprising. I'm going to take that back. It's poor choice of words. But we all knew that something was going to happen when the interest rates went up, and they're going to continue to go up, right? Mm-hmm. But it's funny because we were just talking about this. This is actually like a whiplash effect, right? Because we're going through it. You and I we have clients that have been waiting for homes to to close on. We have these delays because of the supply chain, and it's been putting people in a really bad position. So now the home builders are unfortunately having to take some of these homes back, remarket them to hopes to find a new buyer. So we never thought that incentives were going to come back as quickly as they did.
Well, they are. Yeah. They are. Now, the thing, though, is that you still need some of these builders to bring up the same comp plan that they had before, because I think a lot of these builders aren't doing that, and they're not taking care of the realtors that are bringing the clients to you. Mm-hmm. And also, too, like, what are they really giving? Because there's a lot of builders out there that says, yeah, the refrigerator's included, but that washer and dryer, we still can't get that for you, And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll deal with the refrigerator. I mean, that's what you're dealing with, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So other than that, man, use Joey. Joey's a good
me.
Yeah, Simply Vegas.
Doing. Call me.
Simply, just call Joey.
All my info is going to be in the description below.
Ver Starr, how did you enjoy your first time coming on, buddy?
First time, it's surreal, like seeing y'all in person, it's great. I'm not only in the chat. I mean, honestly, me in chat, I could have been, someone living in their basement named Bruce that lives at their parents' house, right?
Right.
But I'm a real person, so,
yes.
I'm really here, so,
And guys, I want to give a shout out to Ver. Ver's a trooper. He's a good person. He's a very knowledgeable person. And you know what, man? You always give the support to the channel, to all of our channels. He's on my Instagram. He's on everything. So if you guys subscribe, right? Get a hold of Ver. Find Ver on Instagram.
Hit me up.
Find him on YouTube. Grow his channel. That's what his purpose is. He was coming here to grow his channel, and we need more likes and subscribes for Mr. Ver Starr, ladies and gentlemen.
That's crazy. Once this movie publishes, like I shared it with my mom in the Philippines, so you might get, global presence now.
Excellent.
I shared it with my friends at work in the investment chat, so shout out to them if you're watching it. My fiance, my family out here, and, y'all's audiences. So it's all about just, supporting it, because I did tell this to you, Dan. It's like, you guys are the real troopers. You're down in the trenches, boots on the ground, boots to asses, making deals close.
Dude, I'm using that. Boots to asses, baby.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, because, you guys don't get paid from your, client's deal until the deal closes.
Right.
And it's like the least that clients can do is smash the like button.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I want to say this, man. So rolling over to my guy here, and again, thank you, Ver, coming on. Joey.
Yes, sir.
Again, shoot out your Instagram, your channel, also YouTube, subscribe. If you guys don't know who Joey Andron is, man, he's the top producer over at Simply Vegas. And no, he really is. He's a top producer. Joey's in the trenches.
Yeah.
Tell him, man, what's up?
Hey, so I'm going to include all my information, or Dan's going to include all my information in the description below.
100.
Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Instagram, follow, hit that like button, subscribe. We love you. Until next time, we are out.
Dude, I love that. Dude, I should have you actually do that, man. You should be the one ending it.
Okay, next on the main stage, we got Dan. Dan, on the stage, please.
ISIS coming to the stage. ISIS?
We have a bucket of Bud Light for $6 with a free dance from Dan.
There you go. You guys know this channel, the most real behind-the-scenes information on financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs happening here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French. We'll see you guys on Thursday. We're going to talk a lot about financing, a lot about what's happening with crypto and the stock market. I'll see you guys then.
Peace.
Thank you for watching the French Workbench podcast. You can find us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to find out all the information on real estate and financing here in Las Vegas. Also, check us out on our LV Home Professionals website. You can find your future home there, a lot of good information, and you can find us on audio-only options through